out wide. Cutting back inside is El Kaulani. Bashiri goes wide again. Nasser. Bashiri to the short side. Advantage Morocco. I wonder why they keep attacking further away from the uprights, knowing they will need a fully converted try. Advantage again. Kajaj. Oh, what a boost from the bench this gentleman has been. Bashiri, now the backs, Lupatan, and then the try from Morocco. It's the very last play, and Bilal El Kaulani has brought Morocco to just 2 points. Conversion to come against Senegal. The fans, especially the kids, enjoying some beautiful Saturday rugby.
Well, I'm telling you, this has been some really breathtaking stuff in this moment of play, and you see how they've been moving the ball. Just look at the moments that they kept cycling the ball, kept moving the ball from one end to the other, and it's been impressive play by the Moroccans as well.
Conversion is to be taken by the number 10, Ian El Katabi. He scores it. We go into extra time. He misses it. Senegal have succeeded. El Katabi, 28-26 the score, 10 seconds on the clock. Conversion from El Katabi, flags go up. We shall have extra time in this 5th place playoff. I told you, John Vianney Simbe. I told you the way this game was shaping up. We are going to play 20 more minutes of extra time.
What drama that we are watching here at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in the 5th place playoff between Senegal and Morocco. But one thing that we cannot deny is that we've watched some really good quality rugby that has been displayed by the two sides, and the sheer belief that the two sides possess has been incredible.
Wow, what a dramatic conclusion to this 5th place playoff. And it's only the first match, I tell you, because after this, bronze medal, then the 7th place playoff. If we are going to have extra time for each of those games, those floodlights you see in short will need to come in handy. The question now is, what does the tournament manual say about the extra time? Do we go into sudden death, first to score wins, or do we play all the 120 minutes?
Well, we'll wait to see confirmation of that.
We'll just have to get confirmation,
because the rules keep changing.
Every
Can't be too sure. But now I'm sure that the Senegalese are looking back at that knock-on by Mamadou Niang, and I'm sure that looking back at it, and they realize that that is where they were really cooked. They had this game, they should have won this game by now, but that knock-on by Mamadou Niang, the fullback, has really taken them back and cost them what should have been a victory by now. So you've got to have your concentration and your wits up all the time.
You know, we're going into extra time, John Vianney Simbe, as we look at, again, that try. Good midfield combination from Patan and El Kaulani. What the Kenyans and the Algerians don't know is that we shall have extra time, and they are now marching from their changing rooms to the field. They will have to wait there for at least an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll get a confirmation whether it's going to be sudden death or actually it's all the 20 minutes that are going to be played.
It has been supporting Morocco since 1996.
There will be a coin toss to start extra time. It's going to be between Dembakane and Yassine Mamri. Mamri tosses it up in the air. Benjamin Beirut lets Mamri know that he has won the toss. And as we await confirmation, it's going to be either sudden death or 10 minutes per half of extra time. That's the 20 that we are talking about.
Well, I guess that's the reason why the referees are having a meeting there. Maybe it is something that could actually just be agreed by the two sides, especially when you consider time is of the essence as well.
Yeah, that's the discussion that's being had on the technical area with the tournament director, John Bosco Mwamba, ensuring that everything is in check as regards the regulations of the game.
As we've seen already, the second game between Kenya and Algeria has had both sets of players walk to the tunnel, getting themselves set for the game.
They'll be there for a while.
Yeah, but they will have to wait for this first game to end fast.
Each half to determine the winner. This is for 5th place at this year's.
As you can see, the referees are back, and it appears it's going to be 10 minutes each half. So an extra 20 minutes to be played. As the two teams, that would mean that 120 minutes to play.
We're back underway. 100 minutes.
100 minutes rather.
In extra time between Senegal and Morocco.
As we can see now that Morocco starts with some bit of momentum. There was a forward play there. Moved the ball, went behind and came forward, so it's a knock-on. That's a bit disappointing there from the Al-Qatani.
You know, John Vianney, I just got off the phone with the technical bench, the center, and just got confirmation that we are going to have 10 minutes of extra time per half.
Yeah.
No sudden death. We have to play 10 extra minutes
Each
per half.
Yeah, that's
so that brings
20.
us to 100.
100 minutes.
And then, should the team still be tied at that point, we go into sudden death of 5 minutes per half. And should they be tied at that point, we go into, let me call them spot kicks, but let's call them penalty kicks.
Penalty kicks,
that are taken in a specifically designated way.
Yeah.
But in order to avoid an overload of information, let's first go through these 10 minutes of this.
20 minutes.
Of these 20 minutes, you could say.
Yeah.
As the clock, you can see the clock 80, 40. It will tick to 100. I'm not sure if the organizers had planned for that, because the LED screens look like they have space only for 2 tickets. But either way, we shall go into the 100s. And I can tell you for a fact that this is one of the most taxing points to be in, because you plan for 80. Some teams train for a longer period of time, but you've made changes at around the 50th minute, and now you have players who are supposed to be playing 30 minutes. They will have to push almost a full half of rugby or even more. And that's a very difficult place to be. There's no allowance to bring players on, so this is where the conditioning and the fatigue come to show. Penalty to Morocco at that scrum. Senegal had a very strong scrum from the start, but you can see that now Morocco are managing their men, managing their energy in this extra time. Worrying times for Senegal, who have fought strong. And if we can say it again, Kenya and Algeria had made their way, according to the schedule, they had made their way to the tunnel, but knowing they have 20 extra minutes, both teams are now marching back to their changing area. They'll have to stay locked in mentally, but they have to keep a check on their warmth, because now you'd expect to be singing your national anthems and then getting onto the field, but you have to spend an extra 20 minutes, get warm again. It's that cyclic change in routine that will affect the start of this game a bit, but should be no problem after.
Yeah, I'm sure that the players can't be happy about this kind of disruption.
El Khattabi's kick goes wide. It was in good territory. He struck one to bring us level, but this time his kick is wide, and we shall have a restart at the 22.
Yeah, and of course, Senegalese will feel relieved that that did not split the pause there, and Ilan El Khattabi will be disappointed that couldn't get the kick split in the pause, which would have given Morocco an extra 3 points and taken their tally to 31.
That would have been a good start to this extra time. And remember the full-time score against Uganda in the 5th place playoff. Was it 34-31?
Yeah.
Uganda, Senegal?
Yeah.
It's now 28-28. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Plus a chance, plus ça comme ça. Yeah?
Yeah.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
On.
I mean, extra time can be really, really taxing for the players. There's Abdul Aziz Diaye came off the bench, but he's already breathing hard. Hassan Haimishe has his hands on his knees. On the other side, this is a very difficult place to be if you're a player, especially at the front row in this scrum. I think I just need to remember my French classes. Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose.
Which is,
the more things change, the more things remain the same.
same.
I'd like to give credit to Madame Maurice who taught me the
French.
little French that I know.
That was
back in 2009. Free kick for Senegal at that scrum. They've managed to recover.
And they are going for points.
It's unusual. Free kick, maybe. I thought if it's a free kick, it'll have to be a drop goal. But they've indicated that they'll be going for points. Go for points on a free kick.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe it was a full penalty. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, let's see what Saibo Sako can do from distance. We've seen him strike them with ease from just a short walk away. What can he do from 48 meters or so? Needs some power on that ball. But for the first time in this match, Sako is not able to split the uprights. Kicks with flair, but when he needs to inject a little bit of energy into it, is not successful. Quickly restarted by El Khatani. That's very smart from Algeria.
Well, they made that,
from Morocco, rather.
They made the restart just to try and catch Senegal short on numbers.
They are working from their 22. Louis Patin says the ball has been carried back into the 22. So it has to stay on the playing field. Teo Bashiri with an exit kick, and it sends it straight into touch. And that's going to be a line out at the 22 for Senegal. The referee was very clear with his communication. Carried back into the 22. You need to find grass before the kick goes out.
Yeah. Otherwise, whatever he had worked towards has not bore major fruit for the Moroccans.
Line out for Senegal, just outside, could be inside the 22, actually inside, but it's well contested by Morocco and they've won the turnover. Ball secured by Nabil Kajaj. Teo Bashiri has learnt his lesson, so he'll be looking for his halfback partner El Katabi for that exit kick. And El Katabi has a bit of an exchange with the man at the wing, as we get to see for the first time today the Uganda Rugby Cranes arriving at the Mandela National Stadium just behind the Cote d'Ivoire team. They will be playing against each other at 2 p.m. in that 7th place playoff. Let's call it a curtain raiser to the main cup final between Namibia and Senegal. Winner will qualify for the Rugby World Cup. And I tell you what, John Vianney Simbe, the Rugby World Cup trophy is here in Uganda. It is here at the Mandela National Stadium.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if the players needed any inspiration, that is the kind of moment that would inspire the final.
Saibo Sako exiting under pressure. And Morocco will have a line out inside the Senegal half. The game is slowly but steadily moving towards the halftime break in extra time, and the pace is losing a bit of steam as the teams begin now. They've now reached that point where the lactic acid is beginning to pain in the thighs, in the shoulders. The lungs are feeling the heat. the better conditioned team will continue and sail strong in this match. Line out for Morocco.
Guess it's
Taken to the number 4 position. Senegal appear to have a couple of substitutions to spare. Maybe they anticipated extra time. Morocco with ball in hand. It's Hassan Haimishe. The maul is rolling and rolling on advantage after that collapse, but the full penalty will go against Morocco for a shoulder charge at that maul.
Well, I'll tell you that the Moroccans will be disappointed that after clearly seemingly dominating at the maul there, they do something illegal and they get themselves punished. And these are the moments where you feel that you've got to get everything right to make sure that you get the full advantage of the play.
Abdulaziz Diaye is working hard as a replacement, and so are the Senegalese forwards. It's now a line out for Senegal in the other half. Saibo Sako jogging a bit.
Yeah, I can still sense that there's there are tired legs out there between the two sides.
Yeah,
No
so
doubt
many
about
tired
it.
legs. And especially you have Mustafa Ndiaye coming back on. It's an injury replacement for Senegal. So the hooker, Mustafa Ndiaye, comes back on, and the tournament managers have to get in a few checks on the regulations to ensure that the correct sub replacements are being made in terms of the tournament regulations.
So the game stops momentarily there to have a brief discussion on that.
Yeah, I think when you've already been taken off in a tactical change, you cannot come back on, and that's why Kabasise has to fight and finish this game. Mustafa Ndiaye has to return to the bench. Only an injury replacement at the front row can bring back on a player, not a tactical substitution.
At this time of the game.
At any time in the game. Kabasise now has to throw the line out. Goes over the 15. It's picked up by his opposite number, Hassan Haimishe for Morocco. Exit kick by Bashir. It's charged down. Demba Kane has it, sends it to Mamadou Ndiaye, and then the kick from Mamadou Niang behind the first line of defense. Line out Morocco. The teams are looking to play in the right places, in the right zones.
But you can see that there's that eagerness on either side to move the ball as quickly as possible, to go forward, to try and see that they get behind the opponent to get the advantage. But somehow it's still a bit labored and not bearing as much fruit as many of them were hoping.
Line out for Morocco. Haimishe to throw. Sends it to Ait Nasser, and Theo Bashir will send us into the halftime break of this extra time. Still level the score, 28 points apiece between Morocco and Senegal. There will be a quick turnaround, a change of sides, just a small water break, and we are back for the final 10 minutes of this game. Just a reminder, extra time 10 minutes per half. Should these two teams still be tied, we shall be going for sudden death in extra time, 5 minutes per half. And should they still be tied at that point, penalty kicks.
Yeah, I'm sure that for some neutrals, I'm sure they're thinking that it would be nice to see penalty kicks in a test rugby game of this kind of magnitude, to see exactly how they are taken.
I'll tell you what, John Bianesi, I don't know what luck it is.
Yeah.
But Senegal were in this fifth place playoff. It went into extra time against Uganda. That year, I was in the commentary booth, and we had thought maybe this is going to be a breeze through, enjoy this game, then we can shift and look at the other game. Today we take over duties for the first game. Senegal back in. They're playing against Morocco this time. It's in extra time, and guess who's still in the commentary booth?
Yeah, interesting.
I must say, in as much as it's taxing on the players on the field, while our job might only be about talking, 100 minutes of rugby is no easy task.
Yeah, not at all. And I'm sure that it needs a lot. rehydration as well, as you can see that the players getting themselves.
Benjamin Beirut says, let's get off the playing field to the medics, to the assistant coaches, to the water carriers. I need just 15 players on, and only those whose substitutions have not yet been made or have jumped on and are the replacements. 28 points between these two teams. John Vianney, for sure, you deserve that rock bomb that you're sipping on.
Absolutely. We need renewed energy, and that is exactly what rock boom offers when you are in these kinds of conditions.
Back underway, 90 minutes on the clock. You'd think it was a football match. Well, that's what the F in RFU stands for, Rugby Football Union, because now we have 10 extra minutes to play between Morocco and Senegal in extra time of this 5th place playoff. Morocco looking to start strong with that restart, but they're playing the ball on the floor. And look at Saibo Sako telling his teammates to relax, save energy. We still have 10 minutes to play.
So the referee there indicating that the Moroccans, after they were tackled, they just continued rolling on the ground without presenting it, and that does not allow for the game to flow. So it's a penalty to the Senegalese. And Gise makes sure that he kicks out into touch, but then the ball just doesn't go as far away as he probably had wanted.
Sohail Jaudat exits from his own 22. That's a really good exit kick. And Mamadou Niang can only look on as the line out will be taken almost exactly where the penalty was for Senegal. As Abdou Aziz Diaye, every time there's a stoppage, he needs some attending to. 30 or 20 minutes was the plan, but now he has to push perhaps a full half, and the referee has said, please make the substitution, we do not have any more time.
Well,
and I'll tell you, this is an opportunity now for Mustafa Ndiaye to come on, because this is what the Senegalese would have wanted. Get a change. In extra time, Abdou Aziz Diaye gingerly walking to the touchline, and now jogging on is the man with my most favorite name in this competition, Wilfried Unkpatan.
I think he's one of those that you probably will be talking to after this game,
if I get
before
the chance,
he travels back. He's been quite an impressive player, and he's left a real impression on many of us.
Line out for Senegal. It goes to Willy Ndiaye, but turned over by Hassan Haimishe for Morocco. Now Nabil Boumrane, but the ball's been lost forward by the Atlas Lions, and we shall have another scrum. Look at the shock on Teo Bashiri's face, wondering what it needs to go right for Morocco to put some daylight between themselves and the Lions of Teranga.
Yeah, I'm sure that beyond just that mystified look, there's also a sense of frustration that they're not using the opportunities as they get them to try and take advantage of this Senegal side. And some of the mistakes that they are making, the kind that you would easily feel are avoidable for this Morocco side.
Lucas Gise, 80 minutes, and then some 12 more in the match. He's in the number 9 position. Look how he feeds that ball in the scrum. And there's a contest from Morocco, but the penalty goes against them for collapsing the scrum on the tight side, on the tight head rather. And because that frustration is creeping in at the scrum, the Moroccans are speaking back at the referee. He makes them march an extra 10 meters.
That puts pressure on them, and that's an opportunity for the Senegalese to get that kicking tee. Which probably they would not have got if there was no back chatting coming in from the Moroccans.
Yeah, for sure. Saibo Sako now, he has struggled on long distance, missed just one. You remember that in the first game he had 1 out of 4, but today he has been kicking beautifully, and this is a bit closer. The angle is good as well for his right boot. 30 seconds on the clock. He has enough time to get the best measurements and the best effort for the kick and put Senegal in front. 7 minutes left to play. The clock is ticking towards 15 seconds. Saibo Sako, easy, soft, not accurate.
Well, it must be disappointing for him because you felt that ball was in a good angle as you had pointed it out. But if you look at his last 2 kicks, they've all not been successful.
Morocco, 28.
This is where you look back on the game and then, you know, the thing about the game is that it gives and takes away at the same time.
Yeah.
You get your opportunities, you've got to make sure that you use them. And Saibo Sako, his last kicks have really lacked the precision that he had earlier on.
Mamadou Ndiaye carrying into contact, needs to be released. Referee says play on, turnover has been made. El Katabi sends it back behind that Senegalese line of defense, well gathered by Mamadou Niang. The Moroccans trying to hold up the full back, but they give away a penalty for kicking the ball away at the breakdown, and Mamadou Niang needs a little bit of help as the cramps in the muscles are beginning to kick in. That lactic acid is slowly hurting the players who have been on the playing field for not just 80 minutes, but 95.
Yeah, that's some real rugby. And for many, they'll be feeling quite some exhaustion come the end of this game. For the Moroccans, it's building frustration for them, I'm sure.
Line out for Senegal. The fans have used their MTN Momo app to get their tickets, and they slowly but steadily fill the stands. Looking forward to that bronze medal match. But first, we have the business of the 5th place playoff to take care of. Chip and rather grab a kick from El Kaulani. Exit kick from Senegal, but it's straight off the playing field, and we shall have a line out for Morocco from the mark where the ball was kicked. And I'll tell you what, it's just outside the 22, only just. The fine margins in this game.
Well, you would have thought that Senegalese had escaped that attack when they grabbed that kick from the Moroccans. But then just look at all the effort that they used to try and get the ball with that exit kick into enemy territory. And it comes straight back. That's where it can really be so frustrating, I'm sure, for the Senegalese.
Morocco stopped on their tracks in that line out. Theo Bashiri finds Hassan Haimishe. Haimishe has lost that ball on the floor. Referee says it was ripped forwards out of his hands. Scrum feed Morocco.
So it's another scrummage opportunity here.
The front rows have all changed.
With about 3 minutes of play left.
What are the chances that we're going into
another
sudden death in extra time?
Well, they're really high. They're really high. But you get a sense that the Moroccans, now that they are close to the 22 of the Senegalese, this is a moment where they'll probably want to grab and smash.
Yeah, perhaps a drop goal from El Katabi. Look at him on the left side, in the back line. You see him on the right side rather.
Yeah.
just at the foreground of the screen. The other backs are all the way on the outside.
Yeah, already moving the scrummage.
Referee says we'll have a reset. A smile on his face. The team's looking to get that penalty for sure. If Morocco got the penalty, there's no shred of doubt that they will be calling for the kicking team. But the referee wants stability at this scrum.
And you can see how they are watching on eagerly there, the Morocco bench. There's that sense of anxiety there, donning that Uganda Rugby Union cape. I'm sure he'll keep that as a souvenir.
Yes, beautiful caps for the tournament, well labeled, the host union, the Rugby Africa Cup tournament as well at the front. Another scrum field. Teo Bashiri.
You think that maybe the Moroccans could actually go for the bigger prize?
Well, there's no opportunity for them to go to the bigger prize because Senegal's scrummaging has been top-notch today, and the front row have given away a penalty for scrummaging not straight, but rather in an angle. Senegal live to die another day. Perhaps their forwards are going to win them this game, and you can see how much of an effort that has taken from Wilfried Ungpatan.
Yeah, and I'm sure that this is where it gets frustrating for the fans that would want to see a winner in the game so that the second game can be played. Somehow, the Senegalese are also, proving that they're not about to let up. The Moroccans, who are expected to be the better side in this game, have really faced a tough nut to crack in the Senegalese.
Yeah. That and stains on clothes can be tough nuts to crack, but with Omo is unbeatable on stains, and they know how to deal with them. There goes the full-time hooter for extra time. Turnover from the line out by Morocco. They can strike against Senegal in the last play of this match and walk away with the 5th place. Teo Bashiri goes to Samil Jnawi. Morocco with one last hurrah at it. Nabir Kajaj, one of the best replacements in this game. El Katabi to Louis Potin. The forwards and the backs all working in unison. Bashiri picks, goes back to the short side, and the ball's been lost forward. No advantage gained by anyone. That's the end of extra time. First half and second half, we shall have sudden death in the 5th place playoff.
What a memorable game this is going to be. What a memorable game, I'll tell you that this one is going to be.
We need to check the world rugby records for what is the longest game of rugby. 100 minutes of test rugby in the Rugby Africa Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
And we are destined for at least one more minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Should the team score in sudden death.
Yeah. And I'm sure that maybe for a person that like Alan Musoke, who has watched rugby even in the 1920s, he probably has seen so many of these kind of games, and he could tell us whether there's been a longer game than this one.
Wow.
We'll probably consult him at the end of the game if there's been a game that has had so many subplots, but has gone on and on and on and on as this one has.
John Vianney,
I'll tell you that the scoreboard is actually off. I hope our director can show us the scoreboard because they just can't accommodate.
I told you,
there
are 100 minutes.
There are extra digits.
It will have to be restarted, maybe. It will have to be restarted, but you saw how easily Saibo Sako was kicking. Felt even at distance he had the power in him to get it over, but he wasn't successful. His opposite number as well, El Katabi, missing a couple of efforts there, and 0 points scored in extra time. Means the score stands at 28-28.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the Kenyan players and the Algerians have been waiting anxiously for their moment. But their game is already 19 minutes delayed.
You know, one of the things that affect such a tournament, given that all the games are played on the same day on the same pitch, it means that the turnaround time between the other games goes on reducing. But it's well accounted for by the organizers. It's just that when you're going through your warm-ups, you prepare to kick off at noon, but now you have to wait an extra 10 minutes, then
Or 30.
an extra 10. It ends up becoming 30, so you kick off at 12:30. It means the other game that's supposed to kick off at 2 goes extended. The beauty about it is that the sun sets a bit late here in this season in Uganda, but you also have floodlights that can be switched on, so no worries. We are here for the whole day.
What an opener it has been this Saturday. And the game that many people would have least expected to go this distance has proved to be the most complex one.
Coin toss taken. Algeria have the ball. Rather, Morocco. I keep making that mistake. Maybe because the Algeria players keep going to the changing room, back to the field, back to the changing room.
To check on matters.
Morocco with the restart. El Katabi.
The contest what
He goes up and high. It's chased by Bukanosha Jibril. Chanced upon by Bilal El Kaulani. This is extra time. But sudden death. First to score will be 5th place at the 2025 Men's Rugby Africa Cup. Short ball for Yassine Mamri, the captain. Players need to stand up for their teams. Player in the pocket is El Katabi with the drop goal. It's wide.
Wow.
But the ball is still in play. Saibo Sako has to ground it. Smile from El Katabi thought to end the misery that everyone is going through. But his effort is wide. And look at how small the 100 on the scoreboard is.
Yeah, you've got to credit them for the improvisation there, definitely. Because it would have been, it has been some work for the guy that is in charge of that scoreboard to get that time marked out as it has been previously. It's just the 40, then the 80. And now you've got to go into 3 digits. It's not been the case before until now.
Perhaps our own graphics are struggling. And our engineers are working hard to get the scoreboard ticking. There it is, the 100. Now, short ball on the Yango. Morocco attacking across the fringes. There's a contest from Senegal. Bashiri leaves it. Referee says you have to play on, nothing wrong. Hassan Haimisho with the carry. Still out of drop goal territory, so the Moroccans need to work hard in these territories. Bashiri for El Katabi, under pressure, loses it to Ndiaye. Ndiaye with an offload, but it's lost forward by Fofana.
And the whistle goes.
Whistle goes. Double handling error or single handling error?
I think there was a double handling error, but the initial one was from the Algerian, rather the Moroccan. So it's got to be ball to Senegal. But some players are still on the ground, seemingly hurt. Look,
there's that handling error from El Katabi. Mamadou Ndiaye picks it up, tries to offload to Abdel Karim Fofana. It bounces off his chest and hands and is lost forward. The kick from Hassan Ndiaye is okay, but there was a double handling error. Now we have a stoppage to attend to a player who appears to have got a cut on his eye. Has some blood flowing. These teams need the hydration. They need the breaks in this match because they are now running on dry fumes. These engines are running on dry fumes.
Yeah, they must be exhausted, no doubt about it. But considering how fit they are and how much they train, their bodies should be able to take those extra minutes that they have played.
(23 noon). We should be about halfway through the first half of the bronze medal match. Kenya and Algeria are just behind the VIP lounge, keeping their blood flowing, keeping their legs warm. But we are still here in the 5th place playoff. Morocco and Senegal have played for 102 minutes, and look at the Senegal scrum together with the Morocco scrum all going to their knees. There will be a restart, a reset of this scrum. Shake of the head from Lamine Silla.
Yeah.
I can understand. At this point, you just want to get it over with.
Like, I'm sure it's a feeling that both sets of players must be feeling here, but your man, Wilfred Mokhtar, seems to be hurt. Mokhtar.
He has such a good name.
You know, interesting to see the Kenyans walking on, and it appears like that their captain, George Nyambua, is not going to be playing today, and equally so, Chow as well.
Chow, yeah.
So changes have definitely been made to give an opportunity to possibly the players that have been playing off the bench.
I'll tell you what, I would genuinely appreciate a change in the commentary booth, but this is ours. We started it, we need to finish it. Jermaine Egesa with a couple of smiles, knowing he doesn't have to do 120 minutes, but
he can't be so sure. You can't be so sure.
The Baganda have a saying,
yeah.
Boyagaliza ofuna. When you wish someone well, you also gain.
Yeah.
Well, Senegal looking to get into drop goal territory for Saibo Sako, or maybe a penalty. But as it stands, Morocco are giving away nothing. Look at Nabil Bumrane being dragged away from the breakdown by Samil Jnawi. The forwards in place. Lamine Silla with a strong carry, tackled by El Ansari. A gap momentarily opens for the backs. Gise goes to Silla, another carry from the big number 5. Gise, Kane, Mamadou Ndiaye, has he lost that forward? Doesn't matter, it's been turned over by El Kaulani. Now, Bashiri, inside ball to the number 10 El Katabi. Morocco attacking at halfway. Up in the air, Louis Patan will go. He needs to judge this properly so that it doesn't go into touch in goal. It will stay in the playing field and will be kicked out by Senegal. So that's going to be a line out on the 5-meter line for Morocco after that intervention from Hassan Ndiaye. Wow!
And you can see what it means to the Moroccans. They feel that there's a very big possibility for them right now, as they've just got into the 5 there. And if they can get this line out correct and recycle the ball as well as they can, then maybe they can get those points that are much needed to win it.
Patan, that was a very good kick from the number 12. Hassan Ndiaye trying to keep it from going into touch in goal. Kicks it out. That's a beautiful kick. Still on, so possession will be for the Moroccans. What will they do from the set piece of the line out? It hasn't been the best. As the game started, teams were rushing on to their set pieces. Now they walk gently as we get to see another player being attended to on the floor. And there's Benjamin Beirut. I wonder in his career up in France if he has had to manage a game that has gone this deep into extra time and then into sudden death in extra time.
Yeah, and it's already 5 minutes played in sudden death, which is the regulation time.
It's the last play of this first half. Senegal's captain Demba Kane needs attending to. He has got a cut on his lip.
Hope that he
There's
hasn't
no
lost a
room.
tooth.
There's no room for substitutions. He has to continue.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to continue. He got that very important try in the second half that really gave the Senegalese the lead just about a minute to the end of the game. And they probably by now were thinking that they would have been in their dressing room just celebrating that 5th place finish.
If you say dressing room, they would be in the stands cheering on the teams in the bronze medal match. Changed, had their meals, perhaps made calls back at home on saying I'm coming back home.
Yeah.
But they are still on the playing field battling for that 5th place. It's 5th place, but you can call it the best of the rest. The teams who have not made it to the semi-final. Line out goes to the big number 5, Yassine Mamri. Now Morocco with the last push at it with the rolling ball. Senegal trying to spin it around and wheel it, but Morocco steady on their feet. Referee says use it once. Morocco's defense, rather Senegal's defense, appear to have done a good job, but the referee says let's clean it up. Now it's in the hands of Hassan Haimishe, but the ball is brought into the mall. Referee says use it once and then twice. Morocco too slow. Advantage to Senegal.
Yeah, very, very disappointing. Good opportunity that has been wasted again by the Moroccans. at a point where you feel that they've got to have their wits up to try and make sure that they execute perfectly and get the much needed points.
And at this point, you'd think there's been an infringement, but the half can only end when the ball is dead.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is not a dead ball.
Yeah, it is not.
Just the ball was unplayable. So we shall have one more set piece.
And it's going to be a scrummage.
Just on the 5-meter line. Onkupata needs to be attended to. You wonder what the coaches in the technical area are going through, first of all, what they're thinking about.
It's the Morocco coach they are cool with.
What can they do to ensure that their team comes out on top?
Yeah, I'm sure that they've said everything that they needed to say to the players, but at the end of the day, the players on the field have got to execute. That's the bottom line.
It's unbelievable, John Vianney. We can just laugh about it, but it's unbelievable that Senegal for 2 years in a row have played the 120-minute match of rugby.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember last year against Uganda, they played all the... They didn't go into sudden death.
I don't recall.
Yeah, it didn't
was
go into
so
sudden
long.
death, yeah, but they played all the extra time minutes, the 20.
There's Uganda Rugby Cranes legend Alex Mubiru taking a sip of some coffee, could be tea.
Yeah.
Best hooker the country has ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Still was struggling to find a replacement.
Can you believe it?
Some say if he worked hard, he didn't have to work hard, really. If he just worked on his fitness, he would walk back into that team.
I guess some players are just generational talents in a way. So he's one hell of a hooker that the country has had.
Scrum penalty. The Moroccans collapse it at the front. And Senegal will exit with that penalty, or rather they can just choose to tap it, kick it into touch, and they will go into half-time because they have a lot of work to do marching from their own 22. But I think the number 9, Lucas Gisse, has other plans. We shall play on in extra time. It's supposed to be 5 minutes. The clock has gone 7 minutes. Well, looks like they want to finish this job now, and then they can take off their boots.
Yeah, I'm sure that the Senegalese will be hoping that they execute well at the line out. It's not been their cup of tea, though. And this is why you feel that maybe the Moroccans may have some trick up their sleeve, grab that ball away and just attack the blind side.
Line out well taken. Will Ndiaye up in the air. It goes down at the front just before the maul forms, and Kabasise has it at his hands, but there's a player up in the air told to get his hands away. Nabil Bumrane. He had gone through the middle, but you can only play rugby on your feet. Now Kabasise with the ball at his hands. The maul continues to roll forward from Senegal, and they've got the penalty for collapsing against Morocco. You wonder that in regulation time, the referee was quick to award yellow cards. He knows now the players are just giving their best, regardless of whether it's good enough or not.
Yeah, exactly. So he's spared them more indignation here. So, and like you said, that the thing is that it's just a bit about being desperate, but also tired at the same time. That some of the things that they do are not things that they do out of intent to just frustrate the opponent.
Lamine Silla had to tell the referee, just take the penalty, although I'm on the mark. And that's a good kick from Lucas Gisse. Morocco have come from a scrum, Senegal have come from a scrum on their 5. Got a line out, good rolling maul, got into the half, and now they have a line out inside the Morocco 22. Can Kabasise, who at a certain point was almost replaced with a tactical change, can he throw a good line out? Up in the air goes the number 20. Will Ndiaye has been the go-to man after these couple of changes. Cisse with the ball at his hand. Another rolling maul for the West African Lions of Teranga. Referee says use it once. Lucas Gisse knows that he needs to use it. Picks it out. Goes to the captain Demba Kane. Kane going against the grain. He's tackled by Nabil Kajaj. Abdel Karim Fofana. Fernandez Correa, the forwards getting to work. Brahima Koita breaking tackles is brought down by Samir Jinawi to the short side. Willie Ndiaye, the hooter for extra time, has gone. Open side. Mamadou Ndiaye has Saibo Sako on his outside, does not hit him. Mamadou Ndiaye! That is the end of this long and dragging contest between Senegal and Morocco. And who better to stand up than the ever reliable midfielder, Mamadou Ndiaye? What a try! The whole team took part in building up to this one. But they handed it over to Mamadou Ndiaye, and he spread the butter on the bread for a sumptuous breakfast for these Lions of Teranga. Look at Ndiaye breaking 2-3 tackles. And my, what a conclusion to this match. Maybe he saved the best for last.
Well, I can tell you that it's not something that you can say that the Senegalese least deserve. I think that they've been a really good team. They have really played well throughout the game. They have held their lines. They've made sure that they have picked the pockets that have been left by the Moroccans. But also they have really given it a huge fight. And we've got to credit them for being such an improved side this time around. Last year they finished 6th. This time they have upgraded and gone a step higher and take back the Moroccans, who looked impressive in the game against Uganda previously. But the Senegalese had other ideas, and if you had underestimated them, what a surprise.
What a conclusion to this match as well. Both teams, Senegal and Morocco, will comfortably say they've improved from where they were at the start of the match. Morocco coming in as the 8th place, finishing as number 6. Senegal lost the 5th place playoff. This year they were not going to be denied. And guess who the man of the match is? Mamadou Ndiaye. I tell you, there won't be much time to waste. This, the full-time score, 33-28 between Senegal and Morocco, is the conclusion of this match. The clock is way beyond 12 p.m. local time, meaning we are just going to switch quickly to the bronze medal match between Algeria and Kenya.
Both sides kirabika.
Ngamwana kati tetemya na kutema.
Tetemya ngomuliro omuzungu alina kyanyenda.
Right, and there we have Algeria, Kenya. Algeria Interest in all white. Kenya, red tops, white trunks. And as soon as they both line up on the pitch together with officials, it will be national anthem time.
Having showers
as tradition,
we prepare for the national anthems of these teams. I think we'll begin the national anthem of Algeria. Jermaine.
Well, neither team will be out here hoping to go into that extended state of play, but now to the anthems.
And that's it for Algeria. Next up, the anthem of the Republic of Kenya. Right, and both anthems done and dusted. It is time for action.
Well, the anthems are done, and now the fanfare gets to a subsidiary as the action itself is set to get underway. Algeria out here hedging their bets for a third place, but a very tough task that they do have up ahead of them, as Benjamin Kaminati is in the starting lineup here for Algeria, who will be quite keen to make sure that they keep the Kenyans at bay. Kenya, of course, one of the teams that has had a formidable performance, including being one of the few teams with an 100% record when it comes to the scrums, and they'll be out here to make sure they finish the job on a high.
Yes, they have also made a couple of changes to their team, as you see. A couple of first teamers have been given a breather, and Brian Wahinya will begin at number 10, and that's going to be a very, very critical position. They are one of their most formidable try scorers, Griffin Chow, has been given a breather as well. I don't know if it's about injury or just trying to try out the other members of the squad. But it's all freshened up, and the bronze medal match is shaping up very, very nicely. We await the kickoff signal, and then it will be game time.
Underway we are. The Kenyans here getting the early start, and they'll be keen to make sure that they make that count for them. It's a third place playoff here for Kenya, and must be definitely up in arms to make sure that it does work in their favor.
A reminder to all the photographers to please be behind the ball.
Brian Wahinya does get the clearance kick up to halfway, but the ball goes straight to touch, and that is a quick throw. Algeria out in flying fashion. They actually begin the games very strongly, which is something that the Kenya Simbas are known for, and they get to peg the Kenya Simbas back. And good recovery play and a couple of phases there to get a good angle for the clearance kick. Brian Wahinya instructing, the ball goes to Johnny Kubu. Again, ball doesn't find touch, and the Algerians are very, very quick to attack.
Benjamin Kaminati here trying to find his one. It's clear space, and he'll draw first blood in this third place playoff. Try time here for Algeria, and they have gotten off to a flying start.
It seems that the break before the game has disrupted the Kenyan rhythm. Brian Kaminati there finding Benjamin Kaminati finding easy space, quick step off his right foot, and injection of pace, going through a couple of bodies, some tackles there that were not as convincing. Kenya not showing the usual grit that they have, as the step comes through and as we review that, that is going to be very, very worrying signs for Jerome Powerwater early on in this game. They have been pegged back. The kicks have not gone to touch. It has been a very difficult phase of play for the Kenya Simbas.
Meda coming off the bench, Benjamin Kaminati, and he is delivering at the very top level. And now there's a chance here for Enzo Kralfa to extend the lead even further. Goes for the kick, but that's off target. And it will be 5 for Algeria against Kenya. Blistering start here from Algeria. Both these teams have faced off twice before. This is the third meeting, and each managing to garner a victory in those previous playoffs in there. If you look at Kenya, they actually did win in the 2022 semi-final meeting, while Algeria did win last year's semi-final meeting. This time, they meet in a third-place playoff.
Yeah, again, difficult phase of play and difficult time to be. You realize that in the semi-final against Zimbabwe, Kenya actually did win all the line-out restarts that they had. And again, Benjamin Kaminati gathering it from the back, but kicks it out on the full advantage Kenya in terms of that territory battle as that kicking tennis goes on. Line out, Kenya Simbas.
Chance here to gain an advantage, as has definitely been witnessed out here.
Victor Teddy Akala with the first line out throw. He is been given a chance at the number 2 spot and the starting place berth, where the captain Sifuna has been dominating that number. And John Kubu.
Chance here for Kubu, tries to go, has support on the outside. Slight hesitation and unable to retain. Coming very close here. That was good play from Musonye Mukamiti, the captain, standing captain today. Kenya definitely having gotten themselves a chance to venture forward in droves, but that's as far as they went.
The Kenya Simbas there, Timothy Omela, guilty of being bundled to touch. He tried to recycle. He tried to bring the ball back into play. Just couldn't gather as Algeria plucked the ball from the skies, and that's a clearance kick from Guylaine Guerrero, and the ball back into the hands of Johnny Kubu. Kenyans with a chance to strike, and that is a very, very powerful line break.
And a good one here from John Okotho Keyo. Tries to carry it here towards the try line, just kept out of the 22. The Simbas relentlessly battling to secure that ball. And the referee judges Kenyans to be guilty of diving in, staying on their feet. Algeria live to fight another day.
The Algerian defense realizing that the Kenya Simbas are thin in attack and securing that rack, they can bulldoze it. And the Kenyans, of course, in terms of panic, there Brian Tanga plays a ball on the ground, and that's hands in the rack. Good defensive work there from Algeria, who did not give up on the play. Kenyans a little lethargic, I should say, guilty of not piling numbers into that as they win the line out, and Victor Teddy Akala gets the ball from the back of the line out.
Held up here, Samuel Ovwamu goes to the ground, picked up quick here. Brian Maragwa Wahinya just tries to get the ball up front. Quick switch now onto the big lads. Ibrahimi Ayo goes to the ground here. Still possession for Kenya. That was a pesky pass, and they give it away to Algeria. It could be a clean break, but referee calls it back for an earlier infringement. Mohamed Abdel Hamid Makri had definitely gotten that right on the button.
Yeah, well, it was going to be a shocking turn of events there. But again, he is adjudged to have strayed offside, and that is why he was in the position to pluck the ball where he did get it from. that is a breather and a sigh of relief there from the Kenya Simbas, because in terms of that foot race, I do not think they were going to be able to catch him, as Mohamed Abdel put the ball into his chest, tucked it under his armpit, and he had gone onto the foot race. Line out in the 22 for the Kenya Simbas, and let's see how they work it again, working it to perfection there as Ibrahim Nyoyo gathers the ball. Kenya Simbas on the attack. A bit scrappy there. Samuel Ovwamu able to get to the ground and pluck it. And again, another straight arm from the referee. Algeria straying offside. The Kenyans have a free ball to play with, and they have tried to use that left wing quite a bit, and they've used it, of course, pretty much more than they have used the right side. So they are playing on that side of the field, and they continue with the phases. Tanga with a strong drive, and the ball comes out. Phase of play here from the Kenya Simbas. It is brought back for the penalty advantage, and asking the captain what it is that he wants to choose and do.
A quick discussion here of deliberation, and it's the captain, Musonye Mukamiti, that seems to lead the charge in here. 8 minutes. In the meantime, we're facing every broadcaster's worst nightmare, as well as the organizers. They plan for an 80-minute game, and it decides to have a mind of its own. So plenty of catch up and chase up here. I think they'll probably be praying that nothing of the sort happens again. And very fortunate with the earlier days, we didn't have any such incidents. Last year, we only had one such incident. The question is, if it happens to be two, well, the floodlights may be called upon to execute their job as well.
Yeah, and again, the team that was in the midst of that extra time was Senegal. So they have a habit. Yeah, they have a habit of waiting it out. As you see the fans discussing some of the strategies that their teams need to deploy. There are a couple of Zimbabwe jerseys in the stands, and kudos to them.
Well, there have been a lot that have been purchased. I saw a couple yesterday at the basketball, as it's try time here for the Kenyans, and they roar back with emphatic fashion. The fans here chanting on. 5 to the good. Looks like we have neighbors that are in the Pamoja spirit here.
Yeah, that is Kayonjo. She was a very good servant of the rugby game. She played for the Lady Cranes. I had an opportunity of coaching, and she was quite a brilliant lady to work with. Always looking to run. She was quite a quick runner and a good passer of the rugby ball. So Kayonjo there enjoying as Brian Wahinya lines this one up.
Good runner. Big compliment coming from Soki. There's a chance here for Kenya for the first time in this game to be able to go in the lead. Prepare lining up his scopes, takes the kick, but the flags stay down. So we are tied. Sense of deja vu for those that watched the earlier game.
We wouldn't want to see any ties there, as the strong rolling maul keeps going. That is very, very good work. I'm sure Jerome Powerwater was very pleased with that. Brian Wahinya, who missed the kick, has not had any action all through and was not actually on the previous 2 match day squads. So getting a run out here, the Uganda Rugby Cranes would not want to face him, basing on how he played at the last time at Kings Park during the Elgon Cup, as that ball comes down and Brian Tanga collects it, puts it to the basket.
Well, infringement here against Algeria. An opportunity for Kenya to recalibrate themselves and get themselves ready to roll. It's John Kubu. Tabanga. Makes a good kick. Puts that into touch for a line out.
You spoke earlier about the extra time and all. If you're looking at the organizers and the broadcasters, it is a total nightmare for the team managers and the players, because they have gone through their warm-up routines, and then if you're going to be pegged back another 30 minutes, you then have to do it all over again and try to catch up all over again. That is kind of disastrous in terms of preparations for the game.
Ironically, somehow you have to catch up and find those minutes somewhere. The ball is set through, yeah.
You then have to recycle as Kenya go through the phase of play. They are starting to get into their structures. They are starting to grow into the game. They are starting to grow into structure. And Wahinya, John Kubu, and the rush defense of Algeria that has caused problems for many teams during the stay of this tournament is pegging Kenya back, and they find themselves in the 22 as they take another phase, and then that should clear up space for Brian Wahinya with his right
big
foot.
kick. Looking to put that into touch, and it does just that. As we do remind you that Omo proudly sponsors the Rugby Africa Cup, and as Uganda's teams will get ready to battle with the rest of the teams out here, and they'll also battle with the mud and sweat. Remember, dirt is good, and Omo keeps your jerseys fresh. So join the excitement and go Omo, unbeatable on stains.
As you see Edward Chiwanuka doing his work, Eddie has been trying to light up the stands and increase the fans' noise and voice. So he has been also a good servant to the game, as Brian Wahinya
just could not keep that within his grasp, and that will be called for an early infringement. A bit of a discussion here, as Ernest Kuke-Obat has a discussion here with Brian Wahinya. Just trying to set themselves up here, Kenya. Really had lofty ambitions, believed they could have gone all the way, but a case of too little, too late, hadn't done when it came to Namibia. And they were the team that took the fall. And now we'll have a chance to secure third place playoff.
Well, like I said, maybe not securing the third place is one thing, but if you can be able to walk away with a bronze medal, that will definitely have something to add to your collection. And these are the men who have been put in charge to ensure that. Algerians have come out blazing. The Kenyans have managed to stabilize it and be able to get some possession of their own. The scrum looks steady, both teams not budging. As the shove comes in from the Kenya Simbas, balls available to play.
Kenya, of course, have done brilliantly well when it comes to the scrum. They've been the best performers, winning 100% of their scrums, their own scrums. And they've also conceded the fewest scrum penalties, only conceding one. While the team they are taking on here, Algeria, has won the most scrum penalties, according to our statistic boffins down at ISA Metrics.
Derek Ashindu there was robbed of possession, and then there is a kick from Algeria. Rolls into touch, and that will be a line out. It was a good phase of play. Derek Ashindu, John Kubu managing to find him off the cross kick. Ashindu just couldn't keep the ball in his grasp as it was ripped out of his hands by Algeria. Line out to the Kenya Simbas. Victor Akala finds his jumper. Possession, the Kenya Simbas.
Looking to break out from their own 22 and carry that ball forward. Good performance there from Mukamiti, as he gets the ball out onto the wing, looking to swivel in here. Timothy Omela Ejakite goes to the ground, and they lose possession. That's adjudged for an early infringement, and the advantage not played.
That is a penalty to the Kenya Simbas for a high tackle on Timothy Omela. John Kubu will look for the touch finder with just over 15 minutes to play. That ball not going to hand. The Kenya Simbas are guilty of not finding. Brian Tanga needs to sort out that distribution at the base, because he has given away a couple of opportunities there for continuity as John Kubu finds touch. We see some of the fans there, and they can't wait for the 2 p.m. kickoff, which is the Uganda Rugby Cranes taking on Cote d'Ivoire.
Line out here for Kenya. They take this one deep and still manage to retain. Good pick up there from David Nguti Bunduki. Quite the collapse of bodies here as unable to extract himself from that human debris were actually two Algerian players. In the meantime, Namibia having a couple of fans out in here, and plenty will be watching back home in Windhoek as well, cheering their teams on.
I'm sure there should be a watch party somewhere in Namibia with screens and all, just hoping that their team can be rallied to an automatic qualification spot at the 2027 Rugby World Cup. And that is what this qualifier is all about. RUC UG 2025. And that throw is not straight. Victor Tediakala guilty of falling to the pressure of the contest in the line-out.
Scrum again. An opportunity once again for both teams to pit their wits. Algeria, no pushovers here. Definitely been one of the teams that has performed pretty well.
And by their standards, they were unfortunate to come across a very, very effective and efficient as the 50-22.
Well executed.
Yeah, comes to the fore, and that is a kicking tactic that was introduced sometime last year, and it was tested in different rugby forums, different rugby competitions, and has now happened. You'd wonder why the team that has kicked the ball retains possession, but that was a way of how World Rugby would maybe pay you back for such a good execution of your kick, and you'll reap dividends because now Algeria have a line out in the 22 attacking platform for them.
Well, if anything, fosters more attacks and, well, definitely adds on some creativity, expand the horizon of the game. As for the moment, Algeria now look to put that dividend to full use here, trying to consistently battle their way to the try line, and they're inches away. Kenya might have to figure this out. Now the ball is held up in play. And bringing it for an earlier infringement here. Still just meters away, just inches away from that try line. Algeria coming pretty close. Kenya will have to have their wits about them ahead of this incident. As for the moment, there's a player on the ground. Amrik will require some medical attention before the game can resume. We do remind you that MTN are definitely up in here as we head in for a line out. And MTN do remind you that you can be your own investor with MTN Momo. Investors low as 1,000 and earn daily interest. You can also withdraw your money anytime you want. No paperwork needed. Simply dial *165 *6# and select investor or use the MTN Momo app.
Game of 5 margins. It is 5 points apiece. 20 minutes of play. We have an injury break. Both teams have gotten to the opposite side's 22, but they have been repelled or they have been guilty of squandering possession. Algeria with a chance here from a brilliantly executed 50-22 line out, and as Aymeric Tronk, who is supposed to throw in the ball, was receiving some treatment and some attention. Attacking platform, Algeria from the line out. They go up, and Marvin Youssef,
the captain, has been pretty remarkable in the Rugby Africa 2025 as Algeria looking to attack on the open flank. Kenya had shifted numbers to the blind side. Algeria trying to force the issue, and they inch ever closer. One more big push could do the trick, and it is.